rum chata.
Do you drink straight rum chata?
Yeah, slowly, but yes.
No, hard. Chug, chug, chug.
I can't get this open.
I got
Wait,
it.
boop, boop. Okay, that was a,
Ordeal. This
this
is
is
an
for
alcohol.
me. This is for me, those are for you.
Pour me some for the camera.
We're getting all cozy with our little mugs. It's not coffee though.
It's winter time.
Can you hear the ice?
Drinking some nice
Iced rum chata.
rum chata.
Because I cannot stand room temperature rum chata. I can't do
Not
it.
sponsored.
So usually I keep it in the fridge, but I didn't this one, so I put ice in it because it's better than room temperature rum chata. Let me see. What are we talking about today? I haven't even tasted it.
That's good.
I just was mad about the room temperature rum chata.
That's delicious.
Yeah, rum chata
That's
is
delicious.
good. Just straight up. You know, today at work, I work at Starbucks. Someone tried to order a White Russian and then was joking about it, but like he just straight up said, can I have a grande White Russian?
Me.
And he was like, just
When you're
kidding.
drunk in the middle of the day, you're just like, can I have a Moscow Mule?
And he was like, I'm just kidding, a grande white mocha. And I was like, I wish.
No, I'm sure like they just loved the words or whatever.
No, I think he did it on purpose because he was like laughing about it.
Can I have a White Russian? Ooh, this is so good. I'm gonna get so drunk off of this.
Yeehaw! You're gonna need it because the story we're talking about is kind of rough, but it has not a happy ending, but a better ending than most murder stories.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so what I have for you today. Oh, hi.
We're the real
Didn't
lady
realize you were
killers.
listening. I'm Janine.
I'm Kaylin.
Please continue to swirl your
Right by
ice.
my mic.
That's gonna be really great for the audio. And we are the Real Lady Killers.
The real lady killer.
Yes, ma'am. Also, another thing I realized is we haven't been changing this. So it's just said murder again for even like the Exorcist video and like everything. It's just said murder.
I guess it depends.
We watched The Exorcist the other night because I was like, wow, I'm gonna get such shade for not having seen The Exorcist. So we watched it the other night and I was like,
It's creepy.
the trailer was like, now, never before scenes of the scariest movie ever. It really isn't. Like, it's creepy.
I still think it holds up in terms of being creepy.
No,
I think it like actually does still hold up in terms of like, oh god, like
yeah.
But yeah, it's not as scary. But
the whole premise is very creepy.
Yes.
But it's not like the scariest movie. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, so I have seen The Exorcist now. Not that anyone was giving me shit, but like
we're not big enough for shit.
no, but like they could have
In the future, maybe.
I'm just looking after a future Janine's back.
So that like they can look at the evolution of our show and say,
Yes.
wow, well at least
at least I try to educate myself on whatever we're
course.
talking about.
yes.
So that you wouldn't be able to fool me with like fake Exorcist plots or, you know, stories again.
No.
Anyways, so what we are talking about today is the murder of April Tinsley. And let me show you a picture of her because I didn't know the story, but I had seen her picture
Is
around.
she beautiful or something?
I just recognized the picture.
Oh, okay.
She's an adorable little girl. This is her.
Oh.
That is April Tinsley. So I'm going to
Okay.
tell you about her murder. Spoiler alert, murder. Okay, so on April 1st, 1988.
April.
Oh, I didn't realize it was in April and her name is April. It was on Good Friday, 1988.
Baby,
I know.
not a good Friday.
No. April Tinsley, a blonde-haired, dark-eyed first grader, was playing with two of her friends, and they were moving between the houses. Tinsley went back to her house to grab her umbrella, but then she disappeared around 3 p.m. that day. Tinsley's mother reported her missing to the police when she didn't arrive home for dinner that night. Tinsley's mother, Janet Tinsley, was quoted saying, you're sitting there looking out the window and trying to think, where is she and who's got her? Very sad. Yeah, kind of trigger warning. This is a child murder. I'm sorry. But it's you'll see what I mean when it's a good ending, like if there's a good ending. The initial search for Tinsley included 250 Fort Wayne police officers and 50 volunteers.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah. A witness later reported seeing a white man in his 30s forcing a girl believed to be Tinsley into his blue pickup truck. A couple different, from what I remember, a couple different witnesses, at least one. On April 4th, 1988, Indiana State Police and the county sheriff's department got a call from a jogger who had been passing by to report a young girl's body found in the ditch in the 500 block of DeKalb County Road 68 near Spencerville. It's just
DeKalb.
DeKalb, thank you. What appeared to be one of her shoes was found about 1,000 feet west of the body. So just like 1,000 feet down the road.
God.
I know. This is gross. Sorry, trigger warning. They also found a sex toy in a grocery bag near the body. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know why I decided to do this. I'm sorry. April's parents.
I wish you hadn't shown me her face. That makes it way,
I'm really sorry.
Way worse.
I'm really sorry.
Oh my God.
April's parents, Jane and Michael Tinsley, identified the body later that day as their daughter. The report determined that she had been dead for about 1 or 2 days before she was discovered, and that she had been placed in the ditch about 4 hours before they found her.
Oh.
Yes. Tinsley's autopsy report suggested she had been sexually assaulted and then strangled to death. Yeah. So, Fort Wayne Police Department, Police Detective Carrie Young told Crime Watch Daily, I'm stuttering a lot, I'm sorry. You got an 8-year-old girl that was sexually assaulted and strangled. She suffered, and we don't know exactly how long she suffered. It could have been 3 or 4 days of horror. So, like I said earlier, someone reported...
God, the way that she put that, that's awful. Like, I'm sitting here, like, thinking, like, yeah, you're right. And I think you kind of, like, you think about it abstractly in terms of, like, oh, yeah, they were raped. They were blah, blah, blah. But then, like, when you put it that way, where it's like, yeah, she's a child, and, like, she must have been so scared.
So
like,
scared. She was a first grader.
Yeah,
first
and it's
grader.
like, oh
yeah.
my God, that must have just been the most terrifying, like, and to be
you're so
murdered
right.
so, like, I just can't, like, strangled.
Yeah.
That's, like, the worst.
After being sexually assaulted.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, strangling is just the worst in general, because you're, like, feeling yourself, like,
die.
lose air,
sorry.
like, yeah, no, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
God, yeah, this must have been awful.
Yeah.
Like, and she must have been like, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah, she's like, literally, what's going on? And she's too young to really understand what's going
there's, like,
on.
monsters, and that it's maybe not her fault. So that is, like,
she, like,
happened.
her friend's house was just a couple blocks down, and they were just going back and forth on the roads, just like, you know, like, between their houses, like, it's, you just don't think something like that's gonna happen. Like I said, they reported seeing the blue pickup truck with a girl who looked like Tinsley near the site. So it was near the site where they found her. A description of the suspect was circulated, but investigators failed to track down any substantial leads. This was in 1988. The forensic exam also found DNA from an unknown male person in the girl's underwear. Sorry. Oh, this is such a bad case. I just like, the tie-in you'll see at the end is...
I know, but I'm just like, my heart.
I know. 2 local radio stations established a reward fund on April 5th, 1988, so 5 days later. Additional funds were established for Tinsley's burial and her family. Tinsley's memorial service was held on April 8th, 1988 at the Faith United Methodist Church. Police launched a search but could not find a suspect. On May 21st, 1990, 2 years later, police were called to a barn at Schwartz Road in Indiana, where writing had been seen on the barn that appeared to show the suspected killer taking credit for killing April.
Okay, what did it say?
You want to see it?
Yeah.
It's filled with typos. It said, "I kill 8-year-old April Marie Tinsley. I will kill again."
Weird.
And there was another one that said, "Did you find the other shoe? Ha ha, I will kill again." Because they found the shoe not far off of the site.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Haha, I will kill again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So investigators initially believed it could be connected to the murder of 7-year-old Sarah Jean Bowker, whose body was found on June 14th, 1990 in Fort Wayne. Local and state police formed a homicide team in April 1991 to investigate both of the cases together. But on August 7, 1991, the FBI's behavioral science unit determined that although Tinsley and Bowker's cases were similar, they were ultimately unrelated. Yeah. So that was their only like real lead, but it kind of came out cold. So the Hicks family had, this is an unrelated family, but a family in the same area with a 7-year-old daughter. This was in 2004, so this is 16 years later after the initial, after April's murder. So 16 years later, Crystal Higgs and the Higgs family, they had family friends over. This was Memorial Day weekend, and they were hanging out whenever her 7-year-old daughter, Emily, I want to point out, spelled Emylee.
A Millie?
Emily.
No, it's a Millie. I'm joking, but it's like Emmy Lee.
Emily.
That's definitely Emmy Lee.
Emily. TBD. Vote below. Emily/Emily. Okay, so she, whatever her name is, handed over a plastic bag that she had found in the basket of her pink bicycle. In the bag was a note. Oh. I am the same person that kidnapped, raped, and killed April Tinsley. You are my next victim. This is gross. I'm sorry.
The little girl?
Yeah, this is gross. Enclosed with the note was a used condom.
Oh!
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. This sounds so much worse whenever I'm saying it out loud than when I'm reading it. Oh, it's so bad.
What the fuck?
And not in a, oh my god, this is so bad, but like in a like.
No, but like, what the fuck? That's a child.
So.
What?
Yeah. Crystal thought it was a joke. Her mom thought it was a joke. She thought like one of her like teen son friends had like dropped it off or something.
But
what
psychopath of a kid is like, I'm gonna rape you and murder you.
Teen boys are fucking weird.
No, but that's
not that
weird. A fucking used condom with a child. Like, are you for real? Yeah. I would not. No. That's not a joke. No, that's not a like that's not kid cute. Joking around. Like, I agree, men are trash.
But what? How, like. Okay, the note alone, maybe some weird kid boy was like,
who's just like, remember when
so
that kid died? Yeah.
Oh, but like a used condom. Then you're like, what the actual fuck? Yeah. So it gets better, and by better I mean much worse.
How does it get worse?
Police were sent to 3 locations. They had 3 calls for similar notes. So 4 total notes / condom duos in 2 other little girls' bicycles and in 1 mailbox. So 3 girls' bicycles and 1 mailbox.
And it says the same stuff?
Yes.
Okay, and with a condom?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Great.
Yes. So 4 notes, all written on yellow lined paper, were found in the Fort Wayne area, and they are believed to all be written by Tinsley's murderer. 3, like I said, 3 of these notes were left on girls' bicycles, 1 was left in a mailbox. 3 notes were placed in plastic bags along with used condoms. Oh, and Polaroid pictures of the man's lower body.
Great, cool, okay, yes.
So, and you know what I mean by lower body, so that's
his thighs.
Yeah. So
I love a man's thighs.
Yeah, just his shins. Just his shins. Nothing else.
His feet, because that would be better.
Just his ankles.
I'm joking. That would almost be worse.
It's just.
I honestly would weirdly rather it be his penis than like his feet.
Because then you're like, that's a whole like, okay, we get it, like the sexual drive or whatever.
Yeah,
but then you're like feet at a whole nother weird level.
Yeah, then you're just like, okay.
A whole nother weird level. Okay, so one of these notes read, "Hi, honey.
What?
I've been watching you. I am the same person that kidnapped and raped and killed April, misspelled April,
April
Tinsley. You are my next victim." Yeah, so it's the same thing, but that one was
to everybody.
But how he goes, "Hi, honey." Yeah, he said essentially the same thing to all 4 victims.
Yeah, so I don't think any of them are his next victim.
Maybe all of them, or
at the same time.
Yes. And then he says, he goes on to say in one of the letters, "If you don't report this to the police, and I don't see this on the paper tomorrow or on the local news, or I will blow up your house." Basically, he's pulling a Zodiac killer, and he's like,
if you don't report to police, or I don't see this in the paper tomorrow on the local news. But that sentence makes no sense.
Exactly. No, it's complete. Well, basically, he's like,
so
you're
he's
my
saying
next victim.
If you don't tell the police, I'm going to blow up your house.
Yes, is what he's saying. It's just very, very bad grammar.
Okay.
Yes. So the letter did not immediately point police towards the suspect. This was still in 2004. But the
Why
DNA...
would you want the police to know about it? That's like literally one of those, like, I want to get caught. I want to have credit for...
Oh, it's a total Zodiac killer thing.
For being like a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I really want right now.
No, he's trying to be super edgy.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
For people to know.
Oh, that's so gross.
Right?
I just thought about it. Like, I want to be known as like a pedophile.
Right? This is who I am.
I want to be known as a pedophile. I was saying pedophilia.
Pedophile.
Pedophile. Like Peppa memes.
Peppa Pig.
What if they called people who were like really into like Pepe memes a Pepe-phile?
Or if you're into Peppa Pig, a Peppa-phile.
A Peppa... Or if you just really like
Let's
pepper, a pepper file. They're so dumb.
Cheers.
Let's take back this gross word, pedophile. Ugh.
And let's just like pepper.
Just so let's like pepper
nice.
and the Pepe memes and Peppa the Pig, because those are wholesome things that fun for all. Okay. So the letter did not immediately point towards the suspect, but the DNA material recovered from the condoms matched the evidence recovered from Tinsley's underwear, so they could. The guy who was sending these notes did actually kill her. But then after that, the killer went silent. So in 2009, the FBI. In 2009, the FBI joined in the search and called it a highly solvable case.
Cool.
But no major breaks in the scene.
Yeah, I'm like, if it's highly solvable, do it.
Fucking do it.
Do it then.
Please.
I
dare you.
Just do it.
Yes. So in April 2018, so last year, to mark the 30th anniversary of April's murder, Janet Tinsley, April's mother, decided to hold a balloon release in a small neighborhood park dedicated to April near her home, to which about 70 people attended. Janet Tinsley says, we thought ain't nobody really going to show up, but then all of a sudden we see a lot of people. It made me pretty happy. And hopefully they'll continue supporting her and thinking of her and bringing up her name. So that was April 2018. Yes. By the next month, the case, for the first time in years, 30 years since the murder, 14 years since those notes and condoms were found in the girls' bicycles and stuff.
How traumatized are those girls, do you
the
think?
most.
Where they're just like, now that they know they're older, and they're just like,
Well, that's 14 years if they were about 7.
They were 20 years old. They're like our age. And they're just suddenly like,
Yeah. Now, I'm sure, because as soon as they get those notes, because they got them when they were like 7, up until like, whatever
just like,
point,
maybe
they're
I'm
like,
gonna get murdered.
or my house is gonna get blown up or something.
Well,
like,
it's like I told the police, so.
They're probably like in constant fear.
Yeah,
you know what I
probably.
mean? Like, and their parents too. Like, I'm sure I would not leave the house if I got even just a joking letter, let alone one that's DNA connected to an actual murderer. I would not leave my house.
Yeah, no, same.
I would not. Like, I barely do it now.
Yeah, I know, and there's very few threats.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons, but
Tons of threats to
very
you.
few real ones.
There's just, the whole world is a threat to me.
I'm
They're all just
imagining most of
threatening.
them.
Let's take a sip. We're winding down the story now. I really couldn't find much else info on her murder and the whole investigation, except for just what I told you, which I mean...
Wild.
I just feel like she doesn't even have a murderpedia, which I thought, being such like a first grade girl being killed and the whole like prolonged period of time between letters and whatnot. Like, I thought there would have been more
condoms at least. That whole thing.
Yeah. Like, I thought there would have been more like coverage or more investigation info on it. Maybe there is. They were all bogged down by like more recent stories, and you'll see why. By the next month, the case, for the first time in, again, 30 years, 14 years since the multiple notes had been found on the girls' bicycles, I wrote, the case had taken a sharp left turn for the better, in parentheses, or for the best. Yes. So, soon after the murder, police released a composite sketch of the suspect based on the account of the person who saw Tinsley's kidnapper, the blue truck, what we talked about. On April 26, 1988, police sent DNA samples of Tinsley and 5 suspects to a private lab in Germantown, Maryland for profiling, giving inconclusive results. The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit created a profile of the suspect in 2009, describing him as a preferential child sex offender, meaning he has a long-term and persistent sexual desire for children. The police described the murderer as a white male, then in his 40s through 50s, living or working in the northeast Fort Wayne / Allen County with low to medium income. So just like a normal, but like...
His IQ is probably pretty low.
Yeah, more or less probably unassuming.
Yeah.
Like 40, 50-year-old, something white dude.
So he'd be 80 now.
Well, he was in his 40s and 50s in 2009. Because he was like in his 30s.
Then.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
I was like, oh, God.
It said then in his 40s or 50s, being 2009.
Okay.
He was in his late 20s or 30s.
That's worse.
Yeah.
For some reason, old people doing it is somehow like less creepy than a 20-year-old. Like, weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You just feel like it's like whenever they're older, they've had time to ferment. Yeah.
And it's also like,
and grossness, but whenever you're like 20, you're like, you have better things to be doing.
I'm also just literally like, you're more physically able when you're 20. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Like,
yeah.
I don't.
You shouldn't be, no one should be doing it, but it's different somehow. I don't know why, but it's different.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Oh, I want to note on that too. So this whole, give me a second, hold on 1 second, because that reminds me of that case that I was just talking about, who the girl, someone murdered her family, but then, and she disappeared, but then they just found her. I was just talking about her. Give me 5 seconds. Jamie Kloss. The guy who they arrested for it, who they've convicted, is like 21. And she's like a 18-year-old girl, or like 17-year-old
That's so
girl.
crazy.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know why that's weird to me too. I mean, Ted Bundy was in his 30s.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just strange.
And same was so was Dean Corll, but it just,
Jeffrey Dahmer. It's just unsettling for some reason.
21 years old.
21
like,
is
our
young.
age. Like, I don't know. It's just weird.
It makes more sense when you're old. Like, you're bitter. The world is hard. Like,
yeah, you're just
21,
like, fuck it.
It's like, this is your years to be depressed. To not like do things like that.
It's weird. It just feels weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2015, Virginia-based DNA technology company Parabon released a next-generation forensic composite of what young April Marie Tinsley's killer could have looked like. In 2016, then, the company released a more detailed image of that suspect. Extrapolated. Oh my god, I can't read things because I have to read them out phonetically. You know what I mean? I can't
You're
assume.
So close that I can joke.
I know.
I can throw it out. I can be extrapolated.
Extrapolated from genetic history and traits from DNA that police had gathered since Tinsley's death. And as it turned out, Parabon's work was vital, very vital. So in May 2018, just 2 weeks after police in California used genetic DNA testing analysis to arrest the Golden State Killer, Fort Wayne Police Detective Brian Martin arranged for genetic DNA testing on April Tinsley's case. Parabon Nanolabs, the one that I just mentioned, a DNA company based in Virginia, was contracted to do the tests. Okay. So same system that they used to catch the Golden State Killer is being used now.
Yeah, so they're just basically running to see if there's a similar DNA to what they have.
Yes. The testing was able to narrow down the suspects in the case to Miller, this guy Miller, and his brother on July 2nd.
And his brother?
Mm-hmm. I guess it doesn't have anything to do with his brother, but I guess their DNA was similar enough, so it narrowed that down to them too. So on July 2nd of last year, 2018. The connection was made using open public genealogy database researched by noted genealogist C.C. Moore. Once the match was established, Fort Wayne Police and Indiana State Police detectives then put John D. Miller, the suspect, under surveillance at his mobile home in the 13700 block of Main Street in Graville, where he was the only occupant. On July 6th of 2018, police secretly collected trash from Miller's residence to see if they could find any items that contained his DNA. The findings included 3 used condoms, which police sent to the Indiana State Police Laboratory for DNA testing.
Okay.
And on July 9th, police received news from the Indiana State Police Lab that the DNA profile extracted from those condoms in his trash matched the DNA profile of the condoms found in 2004 and Tinsley's underwear in 88. So this is the dude. This is the dude. Fort Wayne Police Detective Brian Martin and Indiana State Police Detective, I'm so tired of saying Indiana State Police Detective Clint Hetrick approached Miller at his home and asked him to come to the Fort Wayne Police Department to talk to detectives. This is just so satisfying, but you just fucking know he did it. So when police asked him if they knew why he wanted to talk to them, he just says April Tinsley. So they were like, so do you know why we brought you here? Why we were asking you a question? He was just like April Tinsley. He just said it.
So yeah, he knew.
Yeah. During the interview with police, at first, Miller said, "I can't," when asked to explain what happened to Tinsley. Then he allegedly confessed to her abduction and murder, saying he took her from Hoagland Avenue in Fort Wayne to his mobile home, trigger warning, where he sexually assaulted her and then choked her to death, which is exactly what they thought. so that she wouldn't report him to the police. So I don't know if like he initially was going to kill her.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure it was part of the idea though, where it's all like, well, I really just want to do this for the sexual assault.
But like to keep this first grader silent.
Yeah.
And, that's gross. So more trigger warnings. And then I think we'll be done with that. After Tinsley was dead, Miller told police he sodomized her body. Early the morning of April 2nd, 1988, so the next day after she was disappearing, he put her body in his car and drove to DeKalb County Road 68 near Spencerville, where he dumped the body in a ditch along the road. The next day, after he saw no reports about the case, Miller said he drove by the side where he had dumped the body. He had also found one of her shoes in his car, and he threw it out the window as he drove by. So that's where her shoe was found, 1,000 feet or whatever. So he drove past the site again.
Years later.
And would, like,
That's
toss it.
weird.
Yeah. Before his trial, the courtroom reportedly had an unusual large police presence with at least 12 uniformed Allen County Sheriff deputies and other law enforcement officials, along with several friends and family of April, a half dozen clothes and memorial shirts for April. The proceedings lasted about 15 minutes, and Miller was held without bond. A hearing to set a trial date was scheduled for August 3rd. So Miller faces up to 100 years in prison if convicted of murder and felony child molesting, according to Indiana Code sentencing guidelines. This isn't really important, but it's kind of to note because I feel like this is a motif in a lot of like weird murders like this. Miller had no criminal record other than 1 speeding citation and 2 citations for failure to stop each in Allen County. So he's like, fucking 50 or whatever, and he had like literally no criminal background.
Good.
So that's all I got for you. That is as
What
far.
does he look like?
I'll show you. Kind of gross.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, and this is the
composite
from 2016 or whatever.
Kind of accurate.
I mean,
see it.
that could have been him whenever he was like, you can see his nose.
Yeah, I
looks the
can
same.
see
His,
this
like, eyes are
being similar.
Yeah, that's kind of as far as I could find into this story, because I think he's probably still on trial. This was less than a year ago. So that's what I mean, where it's like a very, obviously very, very tragic story, but it kind of ends in the same way that we're happy that how the Golden State Killer ends.
I'm glad he's caught.
Yeah. And they did it with like, I want to say Michelle McNamara's help, because that's the Golden State Killer. We can just give her a round of applause for Michelle McNamara.
Serious.
I'm like, in my eyes, she caught the Golden State
True,
Killer. Fuck
did.
you all.
She did, though. Her and Paul Holes. It's
Literally.
just them.
Just them, no one else.
Them. Billy Jensen, too.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But so that's pretty cool that they were able to, like, after that whole Golden State Killer thing, it happened right after that. They were like, shit, we can use this.
We could do this.
And they found him. And, like, with pretty much, like, God, 30 years later, I don't know if he sexually molested anyone else. This is the only one that they had DNA, like, connecting him to. But, God, I feel like if you're going to take a little girl and sexually assault her, rape her, because let's just say rape, like,
rape.
Let's not just say
rape.
sexual assault.
And
kill her, and kill her, then I feel like you're gonna, like, that's not gonna be the only one.
I'd be interested to know how this pans out in terms of other cases for him.
Guess we'll keep you updated. That's the most recent I could find was like a couple of weeks ago, because this came out in like July and stuff, but most of the articles, like, they're just people are just now realizing what's going on, I guess. So,
well, I guess if you guys want any updates on that, you should subscribe to our channel, hit the bell notification icon, like this video if you liked it, and leave a comment down below. Let us know what else you'd like to see. That was really good, Janine.
Thank you. I'm proud of that one, because, like, not proud, but I do like how it ends, because if anything is gonna have a good ending, and it's an end like that.
Oh my god.
Even though 30 years later, at least the dude's in jail. I also saw a quote from the mother that was like, him being in jail is not enough.
Yeah, it's not.
She was like, no.
I believed in the death penalty, man.
I feel like I want to talk more, whenever we have more space in the camera, I want to talk more about the death penalty, because I think it's a gray. I don't think it's a black or white. Really?
I get you.
But we don't have enough time to talk about it.
So bye! It was us. That was good. We liked y'all.
Good job, guys.
Guys,
bye!